Welcome, everybody. I'm Sophie Force. What's your name? I'm in 7th grade.
I am Sadie, and I am in 8th grade.
I'm Evie. I'm also in 8th grade.
I'm Maria. I'm in 6th grade.
I'm Riley, and I'm in 7th grade.
I'm Addie, and I'm in 6th grade.
Yeah, and we're going to be talking about stuff. Okay, so what is the CCC? Who are we? The CCC exists to improve, like, the school, like, basically the school, like, in its entirety.
Yeah.
Is that a word? Okay. We do a lot of projects. In this picture, we made flags. Each advisory representative, we made a form, and then in the advisory, the representative created, presented the form and everything, and then each advisory chose a value that represents them as a whole, and then we made flags. We also have done other projects like positive poster projects, which each advisory chose a positive message and created a poster, and it was a contest, and yeah.
This was also on pajama day, for reference. I'm wearing a sack, so that's why I'm wearing a sack. Okay. What we would like to see. So we want to have some more inviting things, so like a more inviting hallway, more welcoming. We do not want to erase the history of Whitcomb because there's a lot of trophies and everything on our walls. We want to find an equal way to showcase the current students while also preserving the past. And we want it to be brighter and vibrant and welcoming for everybody. So don't want to get rid of this, but just to find a new spot where it's not all over the walls, but just in a smaller place so we can have more current things here.
So these are some of the ideas that we've come up with. So we want to showcase like the values for our student body. We want to have like a welcoming space where people can gather and like have just like a place where they can like hang out, like other than in the classroom. Artwork. We have some artwork already showcased, but we want to have like more space to do that because we have a lot of artists at our school. We want to showcase like some of our advisories, like that's a big part of our school, building a sense of community in classrooms. We want to have community voice, like show who our community is. A drink station, like that's been a topic of discussion for the lobby a lot, like just having like a place to like grab a drink or a snack and like go off to class. Colorful walls to just like make it fun, and comfortable seating for kids to like sit and just like have a place where like if they don't want to like go out to break or like they need just like a place to calm down or they want to work on like schoolwork, it would be a nice place for them to do that.
Also, we've already received some grant money, and with that we bought some tables for the space, and what else? It was a charging station for.
If you have any ideas, you can write them down on the poster, just so that you know. Yeah. So if you thought of anything that isn't up there, you can write it on there.
So how could you guys support us? Well, first, you could give us your ideas. You could also be included in the remodel, like helping us build things or painting. And then you could give us donations to help remodel. And then you can give us our support for our student voices and give us positive feedback, please. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. And then, again, if you want to provide some ideas for us, we have sticky notes somewhere.
Dana has.
Oh, and you can write down our ideas and put them on our wonderful poster. Mm-hmm. Yeah, does anybody have any questions for us?
Okay, I'll have some. So you want to keep everything that's in here,
Yes.
Yes.
but you'll move it to another spot in the
Yes.
school?
Yes.
someplace? Okay.
Yeah, or
Just
just
so we
like
can have more.
at
more
least
room
try
for
to
growth.
condense it,
Yes.
because like there's definitely a lot of open space.
Yeah.
It's just that the trophies are very spread out.
So
Not
not
banners on the wall.
not taking away anything, but just
Yeah.
finding
We probably won't take
another
off.
space.
We probably won't take down the banners that are in the
Yeah.
gym. We're focusing on this space.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Something to bear in mind is that some of those plaques and awards behind the students right now, there are plans, ideas to reach out to some of the folks that are honored by those and see if we can't honor the same kind of idea that was behind the award in the first place. You know, some of those are for athletic achievements, and there's no reason we can't recognize our students. So some of that wall of fame will actually be part of a bridge. When they're talking about connecting values, not all of this is meant for a museum static piece. Some of it is meant to be the thread we pull to connect to how we recognize them. Because the reality is they're already ready to put some of their own banners on that wall in there for a whole host of academic, performing arts, athletic achievements. Sorry, Lisa.
It's okay. So is this the space you guys want to use for your seating area, your sittings?
Yeah.
This is the space that you want?
This,
Yeah,
whole,
like- We've already kind of like, we have like that picnic table that some kids hang out at during the school day and the Adirondack chairs out at the lobby, but we want to add to that.
yeah, and we, also students come here before school starts. School starts at 8, and students can come like even like 30 or 45 minutes before school starts. And there's not a lot of places to sit, so
We
lots to be
also
used for that.
we had some other ideas just on this list. As well. So we think like an updated middle school awards. We thought of some games, drink table that was mentioned, furniture, more seating, small activities, space for artwork, maybe a coloring station, just more celebrating student accomplishments, extra like info papers for students. So like if kids like need like a lunch menu or a field trip for them, there's like a spot to get those.
So any more questions? Bonnie?
So you're thinking about consolidating and having a space for having art, or a space for doing art on the wall on paper or something?
So I think we were thinking about like over here we already have some student work shown, but then we also we're also thinking about making a mural some open space on the wall, and yeah, if that's actually kind of a good idea to like maybe make some places to actually like have students draw. But
We also recently started doing the impossible shot thing.
Yeah.
So like as like a type of reward. So if kids earn something, they get an impossible shot. Throw a little tennis ball into a pipe. If you get it in, you get something good. So we like talked about putting like a spot on the wall saying like these are the kids who made the impossible shot like on these spaces.
We
So
want to,
a spot for
one
that on
thing
the wall.
that me and Sadie were talking about earlier is like showcasing some of the students' achievements. Like we want to like also honor the students that are like here now and show like, hey, these kids did something really cool, or like acknowledging like things that kids have done. Like our school has a lot of intervention activities and like opportunities, and it would be cool to showcase that in a space that everyone sees.
So is there, forgive me, because it hasn't been on my radar, but is there talk of some of these going over to the high school? This is the Whitcomb High, is there some of that talk, or is that like?
we aren't like sure on like exactly like where everything's gonna go. We're gonna like preserve it in some way. So we kind of like don't know maybe.
Well,
Um,
we never really said that, but I feel like that'd be a good thing to cross.
Okay. This sounds very much like high school that did the same thing 30 years ago in Hanover to create a student space for doing exactly what you're talking about. You guys are way ahead of yourselves. It's great.
So I like what you're doing. And I understand you guys need room for your stuff, and some of this stuff has to come down for that. I think a lot of these things, have you thought about doing scrapbooks? And possibly putting the pictures into a scrapbook?
Yeah, that's a
And
good.
do like maybe 10 years of a scrapbook, another 10 years. I think pictures could go into the scrapbook, and the community members would be okay with that.
Yeah.
When they thought that things were just being thrown away, well, you know, that we got a little upset some of us did. So, but I think like scrapbooks for the pictures would be a great spot. They could be preserved that way, and they could maybe be in a spot in here where people could come in and look at the scrapbooks, see something like that. The plaques, I don't know what to tell you about them. I mean, I even think they could be undone a little bit. Those little round things are all the same. You could probably take that 1997-98 Vermont State Boys Soccer Division thing, undo that, and put that in a scrapbook. Things like that, I don't think people would be upset as long as they were being preserved. I mean, I'm all for you guys having a spot for yourselves. I think the only thing that really upset me was the class pictures coming down, and you kids weren't part of that. But when I grew up, and some of the other people in here possibly, when I grew up and I walked down the hall and I was able to see my mother's graduating class down the hall, some people saw their grandparents' pictures down the hall. When those came down, it touched a lot of us in the community. Had they been preserved, maybe we wouldn't be here maybe today. But I think a lot of that stuff could come down and be in a scrapbook, and we'd be happy. I don't think that plaque up there, the wooden plaque, needs to be saved. I think if you put those brass or whatever they are, little plates in a scrapbook, I think people would be happy. I mean, if they're not, the people that really care should be here right now. So.
And maybe there's two sides to that coin. There's the physical, the object, someone could come in and like invite it to our school and come see it and lay hands on it, but also having a digital component so that as we're writing our story continually at the middle school, they can see where the roots are.
There's just a lot of different things they could be doing together.
Yeah,
Good
I
job,
like that
kids.
idea.
Good job.
Also, I forgot to add before, our flexible pathways class, which is an essential class in the middle school, we recently, like the past class, did a project researching some of the plaques, and we made a slideshow, like a slide, each group made a slide. My group, we researched the plaque about Susan Isham, and we interviewed Dale Isham, and just asked him some questions about her so we could learn more and share that information with others.
Nice.
So that's something we had talked about at the last community meeting. They've actually carried that off and have a presentation. So another step towards that idea of having a place on our website, you can go and look at where these things are being collected. Simple, click here, see our history.
Maybe even a possible fundraising opportunity if you were to put it into a bound scrapbook and then sold it for alums to, buy it. Here are the items from the.
Like making copies of it.
Yeah, making copies, yeah, get it, self-publish, yeah.
I love that idea.
Then you could have one.
Or we could have the original stay.
Yeah,
Forever, like
yeah.
as like a coffee table. I've been writing your ideas down for you, but I also have papers of people.
Any more ideas or questions?
I wonder about old Wickham yearbooks. And I don't know if there's a collection of them, but that might be a neat, when you talk about having the scrapbooks or something like that, if there was a bookshelf or some area with
Library.
old Wickham, I bet you'd love looking through them. I bet that would be something that
At the
would be really.
Historical Society, we have many of them.
You do?
All the way back to the 1940s, so if anybody wants. And we got a large collection from the school, so they are at the Historical Society.
we just had a town hall over at the town hall, and the pictures of like the class of 1983, the class of 1984, the class of 1956. It was beautiful to look at too, so maybe the town hall could.
That's where those were the pictures we got out of the school, we put them up
Yeah,
there.
they're
They are all
beautiful.
now hanging in the town hall, so they are being preserved by the Historical Society now. So, and we have invited the kids to the Historical Society anytime you guys want to come down through.
Maybe we'll
And we
take
have
a
a large shelf of just, I think we have 2 shelves like this of school pictures and school stuff, so. Anytime you guys want to come
We'll
down,
do a field trip during
we
our
can make a
CCC.
special opening for you guys.
Talk to me more about that, because there's a great sandwich shop across the street, Nikki David, she keeps opening the door to us. Let's walk through it.
Any more questions or comments or thoughts? Wonders?
Ideas.
Do you have a poster from last year's performance, drama performance? It would be nice if every year you had one of your posters with the cast listed.
This Kelly may have one.
Maybe like online still, like we might have the, like,
Here, you
program.
put
It's
down all
probably
of your
on
ideas.
Facebook. It's probably on
Here,
Facebook.
pass them around.
Just go on the school's Facebook page and find it.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh, pictures of the boat, everybody. I don't know if anybody knows. The orchard project. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's very exciting.
Thank you.
Can I ask a side note? Do you feel, since you've started this group, that there's a sense in the school that we want to have a, open, caring, do you feel like the climate has shifted since this begun?
I think, in my opinion, I think, yeah, definitely, this is only our first year, so it's kind of like a slow progress, but I think definitely a little bit. Anybody else have
Baby steps.
Yeah, exactly.
It's working.
Our hallway is bright and lovely. right?
Yeah, if you, you can kind of take a peek down the hallway later and you can see our flags and posters that we've made.
Like, personally in my classroom, like, a lot of the activities have been like an opportunity for our class to get like closer together. Like, for a while, our class was kind of like in shambles, and so then like after we did all these activities, like we got to learn more about each other, especially with our most recent activity where we did like almost like a guessing game with the teacher, and like there were some kids who were like, oh, I never really knew that about you. So I think it definitely like brings kids closer together.
Yeah, what Evelyn was talking about, we did a teacher swap. So, in advisories, the teachers, like for example, my advisor is Miss Kelly, and Mr. Morrison came into our advisory for 30 minutes in our extended advisory time on Fridays, and we got to learn, he got to learn about us. We had each student wrote down 3 facts about them on like a index card, and he guessed who the student was, and the teacher got to know you, and then we had some extra time at the end, so we got to know the teacher a little bit as well.
I will have to say that they've been targeting advisories and bringing advisories more together, relationships, and I've seen the difference, but that's because I look for it, but I definitely have seen it, so.
Yeah.
I have to say that, you might not think it, but it has.
They're all created by our CCC group, all of the activities.
Yeah, right.
They're not teacher-led, they're student-led.
Right, this is just a few. We have like maybe 10 or 8 or 10 representatives in the CCC. 13. In the CCC, these were just the people able to make it tonight. But
We have a representative from each like
Advisory.
Oh, that's smart.
just so you can kind of relay it back to your advisory. So your advisory knows what's going on. Your advisor,
And here you have 2 8s, 2 7s, and 2 6, which is great cross age.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah.
smart.
yeah, it was kind of just a coincidence.
Yeah. It's not just upperclassmen doing it, because you guys have
just want to say you did a great, wonderful job. So feel free to add to their poster ideas.
Next steps,
Documents.
next steps, what do you think are the next steps for you?
Well, we already have our tables and our portable charger stations ordered, so like setting those up, and then also it's the end of the year, so
We did write down a few future ideas. We were thinking of doing like a mural once we get stuff going, and then like fun wall colors, welcoming designs.
We're also going to like talk to the school about it, hopefully soon, like introduce it to the school. We've had like this conversation with the community, and now we want to like bring it into like the individual classrooms and be like, hey, we're gonna do this. Like,
If you or anyone you know is questioning what they mean when they say they want to represent their values, you just have to walk down that hallway and see what they've already brought. They're talking about a mural. When we redid this bathroom over the last summer, right here off the cafeteria, the mural that had been there in the boys' room was damaged heavily. And like 0 time went by before I had students saying, hey, can we create a new mural? So I encourage you to step into the bathroom for a moment and see, even in the most mundane of places, our students are leaving a mark. Ceiling tiles,
Way last week.
they all match, they're all clean, but down that hallway, they're painted. And many of them are painted.
Different classes have different amounts of colored tiles. Because it's mostly 8th graders. They like to draw something or something that they like, and they give it to their favorite teacher or somebody they want them to remember.
yeah.
like high chairs and
Stools.
or like stools in classrooms. Like we'll decorate those, and then those are nice marked to leave in classrooms.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's actually part of an 8th grade art project. Like at the end of the year, they do like the kind of to leave them behind.
Ceiling tiles in my office, because there are 4 up in here. There's some in Miss Kate's office that are painted, that the students did.
That was your value, your love value.
Yeah, my love value is out. I take it in at night, but I bring it out.
So Bonnie asked what next steps are for all of you involved. Some of the ways this has changed adult conversations is more and more of your teachers coming to me saying, we used to do this. We used to have this piece that we honored a student. We recognized them at the end of the year for this. Or we used to have this tradition. And I think that's increased because they see you care about your school. So next steps involve, the adults also getting on board and saying, we used to have this wonderful tradition. Why did it go away? COVID, or $1 for every time I heard that. So you've spurred adults to say, our value should be here too, what we value in the students. The impact you've had ripples beyond this conversation.
Yeah. So I feel like the big next step is kind of just spreading it or telling the rest of the school, the rest of the community about it. Awesome. Do we have any more ideas or questions? Good? Okay, and we still, if you want, you can come up here. If you have an idea later, you can come up here and write the idea on a sticky note.
Thank you.
Thank you.